Welcome to Global Agent Connect TV. Subscribe, like, comment, and share to join our global network. Click below to engage with us. Let's connect.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Global Agent Connect. We're here again for another talk show. Today, I have a very powerful guest to introduce to you. I know this guy personally. I personally know this guy. We spent almost 7 years in the same secondary school, studying some commercial stuff, banking, accounting, and whatever, many of them. And then our path crossed one more time in the University of Boya when we studied IT, precisely Cisco networking, computer networking. You understand? We did a lot of stuff along the way back then. This guy is grounded in ICT, telecommunication, and computer in general. He has a lot of information to give us today on how to build a tech company in Cameroon, in fact, digitalizing business and creating opportunities. This is the guy that I'm bringing up today. I don't have much to say. He has a lot to tell us. And he owns his own company. He has to tell us, how do you own an ICT company in Cameroon? How do you inspire and help small businesses grow? How do you impact people's life with ICT and telecommunication? He's going to tell us today. But before I introduce him, I just want to flash his business so that you see. He owns Godwin Tech Solution, GTS. That's his flyer. His contact is there. This is business. I'll show you another services of his. As long as we go along, I'll be showing you who this guy is. Godwin Tech Solution, professional IT services. He does web development, e-commerce sites, and many other services. He's going to explain more to us as the time goes on. Without wasting time, let me introduce this guy. All right. Who do we have here today? Will Brodende, a versatile and result-driven software developer with expertise spanning both front-end and back-end development. If you want to know what is a front-end and what is a back-end development, he's going to tell us. Across web and mobile applications, web and mobile. I don't know, he will tell us. With a strong command of modern technologies, he designs and builds robust, scalable, and user-centered digital solutions that solve real-world problems and deliver measurable impact. That's huge. He is also a visionary tech entrepreneur and the founder of Godwin Tech Solution, a company committed to providing innovation and business and technology solutions that empower individuals and organizations to thrive in the digital age. As a CCNA certified professional, he's going to tell us what is CCNA and what does it mean to be CCNA professional and skilled software engineer. Willie Broad integrates solid networking knowledge and advanced software development practices to create efficient, secure, and high-performing systems. Beyond his technical achievement, Willie Broad is deeply passionate about people development. He actively serves as both an academic and professional mentor, guiding students and aspiring tech professionals in building practical skills, very important practical skills. His mission is not only to build technology, but to inspire and equip the next generation of innovators. I like that, innovators, the next generation of innovators. I mean, Cameroon now, right? We need innovators. That's him. His name is Willie Brodende.
Okay, greetings everyone. Greetings, Mr. Gustav.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your platform today.
You're welcome. It's a privilege. I'm happy to have you here. I mean, with this weight of academic achievement, I mean, we are going to learn a lot from you today. You understand?
Definitely. At least
Tell
we
us.
are going to share. We are going to share much.
Yes, sir, I can hear
Okay,
you.
my mic.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Your mic is doing good.
Hold on a second, please.
Okay, take your time.
Okay, we are ready.
All right.
So, what's on the menu for?
All right, start by telling us who you are. Can you hear me?
The internet is so bad, but I can hear you now.
Yeah, you have to do something about that internet, as an IT expert, right? That internet needs to be adjusted
Yeah,
ASAP. So tell us who you are. Just start by telling
we
us
know
who
we
you
need
are.
to adjust it.
I understand. The reality is network issue. It's an issue everywhere globally now because recently I saw fiber optic cables have been pulled out from the connecting point between USA and Europe. So I don't know if that's the reason why it's affecting our connection globally, but we'll find out. We're facing a lot of network issues here. Let me see. Do you prefer this interface, Mr. Awa? Okay.
I'm waiting.
Are you ready? Hello, are you ready?
Wow. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. MTN is. I don't know what's wrong with the internet today. Sorry about that, but I think we are good to go now.
No worries, no worries. We can always consider the fact that network issue will always be a problem in our environment. All right, tell us about yourself, sir.
Okay, I'm called Awa Wilbrod, and I'm a software engineer in Cameroon. I'm the co-founder of Godwin Tech Solution.
Mhm.
I'm a Cisco certified network associate. I'm a
Okay.
mobile developer, a web developer. Then I also focus on cloud engineering, cloud
Mm.
infrastructures. Also, what my objective is to implement is to digitalize. What I mean by digitalizing Cameroon businesses is Godwin Tech Solution, our main motive is to ensure we create platforms where Cameroon businesses can be able to showcase their products to their clients, can be able to showcase their products to the market, which could be the local market or the external market. At Godwin Tech Solution, at Godwin Tech Solution, we build all sorts of technology. We are specialized even in hardware. So it's not only about software, like you said, we also do hardware.
Okay. Hardware, software. All right. You said you build
Yeah.
platforms that businesses can showcase their products and services. Do you have any platform you have built for any business, or is on demand? Like if anybody demands your services, then you can build on the platform. Do you have any sample platform that you have built for some businesses that we can reference?
Now, there are a couple of platforms which we've built for people, but you cannot just put out somebody's work without the person's
Okay.
approval, because
Best that
when building something, I'll take an example. There is an app I'm currently building. Like, no matter what you do, the customer said it has to be private. So I can't just come online and start showcasing people's products without the authorization.
Okay. Okay. What I wanted to know is what type of platform is it? Is it an online market store that you build for people? Do you build online market store? What system do you build, and what is your target business?
Currently, we are more focused on little companies, petite businesses, and medium-sized companies.
Okay.
We go through all sectors. There is no particular sector, be it a barber, a tailor, a woman selling in the market. We
Mm-hmm.
are able to digitalize their business. We are able to propose them a platform or a solution in which is going to
Okay.
help their business grow.
No, that is very amazing, because without digital system, a business cannot grow to its full potential. That one is fact. There is no business out there that can grow to its full potential. You might think you're making money, but that money is not enough if you don't include digital system around it. That was going to be your accounting, marketing, and provide you with facts and data that you're going to use to make business decisions. Now, you target small businesses, you target local businesses. I know local businesses in Africa, particularly Cameroon, right? They are almost not interested in any digital introduction to their system or to their business lifestyle. So, what strategy are you using to pull or to convince all those local businesses out there that you have a system for them, that you can improve their business, you can make them international, you can take them worldwide? All they need is entrust you with their system, entrust you to build a system around their business to facilitate how they communicate, how they market, how they export or import. How do you convince them? How do you go about that?
I could barely hear you.
Oh my God. Connection issue.
I
Can you hear
oh
me now?
yeah, the net. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Like, let me rephrase the question again. How do you convince small businesses, telling them that it is important for them to have a system? How do you convince small businesses to have a system?
I don't think the issue is the objective is to convince someone. The objective nowadays is more to show the importance of digitalizing your business, because the job becomes different when you show somebody the advantage he's going to get digitalizing his business, rather than trying to convince him on something which he actually doesn't know where it's going to lead him to. So it's
Okay.
different. With little businesses, you don't with little businesses, you I don't think convincing is the word to use. You try to show them the advantage they are going to get from digitalizing their businesses.
Okay. Okay. Now, I want to go business by business. Now, there are so many local businesses we
Okay.
have there in Cameroon, right? There's a barber, it's common.
Yes.
There's buy and sell am, it's common. There's hairdresser, it's common. There's tattoo engineer or tattoo artist, it's common. Bars, it's common. You know, all these local business, everywhere you go in Cameroon, you see these businesses in your environment. Now, let me go one by one. How will you build a system to help a barber?
Okay. The first thing with software engineering nowadays is problem solving. So the
Okay,
first thing I'll need to do is to identify what's the biggest trouble a barber may face. Nowadays, when you're thinking about scaling a business, when you're thinking about growing, I think there are two things in your head. First, there's customer reach, and secondly, is there's customer retention. So when I
okay,
talk of customer reach, how do you reach your customers? Now, nowadays, there's social media. I'm not saying like we are going to build you a social media account, stuff like that. No. But nowadays, the first thing we are going to do for a barber is we are going to solve a problem. What's his problem? Does he want more customers, or he wants to give a luxury experience to his customers? Firstly,
Fantastic.
if he wants more customers, we are going to build him like a website where he's going to be showcasing the styles which he can do. Also, we can make him a simple application where people can request, and let's say people can book an appointment with him, because
Good.
only the fact already you can book an appointment with the barber it already gives him it gives the customers that luxury experience. Because
Perfect.
like in in commercial studies, if you remember so well, they were telling us there are types of goals of ostentation. Like, what I'm trying to mean is, if he can, a digital service is going to make the customers feel a little bit more special. Imagine someone comes online, he books that I need you from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. He knows from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., as long as he comes to the salon, it's a time reserved for him.
For him,
So
pays
he knows,
already, which means before he even
yeah,
comes, he has already paid his money.
yes. It's two way. It's either you pay before you book your service, or you pay while your haircut has been done. But the objective is problem solving. Which problem are you trying to solve? Are you trying to retain customers, or you're trying to go to new customers, or you're trying to give customers a luxury feeling? Because if you're trying to retain customers, you have to do something that is going to showcase your talent. It's going to put your skills out there. But if you're trying to like retain customers, you have to give them a luxury feeling. We can create a platform for them where they are going to be able to their customers will be able to book one-on-one sessions at their homes. A barber having that kind of platform is going to make he's going to be able to make more, because he's going to charge more. A
Sure.
customer, a customer, a customer telling you to come and give me a haircut in the house is not going to pay you the same 1,000 francs, which he comes to your place to do. So, digitalizing your business is going to help you make money also. Because
I
let's
agree.
take an example. Let's take an example. I'm at work. I'm at work today. I should be at the office. It's 9 a.m. in the morning, and I want a haircut, but I don't want to go to the salon. I can book a haircut on the barber's platform and tell him, okay, I'll be available from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I want so and so haircut, and the price is going to be so and so. You meet me at so and so location. Don't you see that's going to help the guy?
Obviously, it's going to help massively. And if you have a system like this, you build you can use your system because now you have data. And a lot of people minimize how powerful data is in this our current system. Data is very valuable. So if you have a working data every day with your system gives you this data, you can build equity from such data, and you know how to structure your business for the next 10 years, for the next 20 years, for the next 30 years. That is up to you based on the data you have. So I totally agree with you, sir.
Good,
Totally agree with
good,
you.
because now the point you just brought up now is the point that is going to help the barber in like making decisions.
Exactly.
From what time to
Exactly.
what time am I always booked? Like, it's going to help him. Maybe he can get another side hustle, stuff like that. But the data, as you said, is going to help him in making decisions. I wish we are going to get to that, because data is something which Cameroonians really don't know how to manipulate. They don't really know what they
Sure.
can do with data for decision making.
No, I totally agree with you. Which means this strategy you apply for the barber, right? We can take this same strategy and apply it for so many other businesses. It's the same thing. What do you want for your business? Do you want to reach more customers? Do you want to retain them? Do you want to expand? So depending on what they want to do with their business, their immediate objective, you're going to design a system to suit that objective, right?
Ye- Yes, like I said, the core reason or the core objective behind software engineering is problem solving. So
Excellent.
no matter the field or no matter the business which you're going to face in Cameroon, you always start with this question: what problem am I going to solve?
Sure. Sure. I agree with you. All right. Now let's move to the next thing. You mentioned in your, I was reading your profile, who you are. I saw the CCNA. I also saw the front end and back end developer. So, what is a front end developer? What is a back end developer?
Okay, front end development has to do with the aesthetics, the user interface, and the user experience. Everything
Okay.
which you see on your application, that's the front end. How you
Okay.
interact with the application, that the colors, the fonts,
Mm-hmm.
that's all what makes up the front end. While at the level of the back end is like the core, the brain, like the logic behind the way your system or your application is going to function. That's what's called
Okay.
the back. The
The back
the
end.
database structure. Yes, that's the back end.
Okay. Okay. And then also, I get that clearly. Front end interfaces. How do you interact?
Yes,
Okay. Back
yes.
end, how the system is built,
How do you do it?
basically. Yeah, exactly. All right, that's just front end and back end. Now let's move to the next. You mentioned CCNA. Now you and I have a lot of history. We went to the same school. Yes, we went to the same
Yes.
school. Okay, and then in the University of Boya, we cross path again under the CCNA. So what is CCNA? I mean, you are the guest of the show. I will not say anything. It's you telling us now what is CCNA and how useful is whatever you're going to tell us about CCNA to our current society as an engineer or as a software developer or as a network engineer. What is that?
Okay. CCNA stands for Cisco Certified Network Associate, which I am happy to say you and I we both did that program in Boya.
Yes.
Like CCNA has to do with networking devices, be it from one country to another or from one location to another. What we are doing currently is the work of a network. We are on a network. So
Yes.
CCNA is all about building networks, enabling communications between one device or another. That's just all what CCNA stands for, networking.
Now, is CCNA still very valuable? Is it really, really valuable? Because a lot of people today, because of so many systems and because of AI, or the advancement of AI through very large scale integrated circuits. Now, it has become so popular that a lot of systems are now available out there, especially in the Western world. And because of AI, like networking is not really an issue. It's more of cyber security. So will you really advise people to go in again for CCNA just like you did? What are the advantages today in CCNA, studying CCNA?
Yeah, everything is still relevant.
Okay.
CCNA is still relevant because CCNA is part of the journey. And you don't end
Okay.
at CCNA, you continue to CCNP, Cisco Certified Network Professional,
Okay.
CCIE. Yeah, so ending at CCNA is just like ending at ordinary level.
Okay.
AI AI is not the reason for you to learn or not to learn something. AI is just a tool, but learning the
Mhm.
core fundamentals is still very valuable and very important.
Okay. So you have your CCNA and then now you specialize now in software engineering. So
Yes.
do you study software engineering in CCNA or how did you transfer from a CCNA engineer or a CCNA associate in networking to software engineering?
Okay. After the studies in Boya, I relocated to Douala. So
Okay.
after I think that was 2021, is it 2020? I went back to school where I did software engineering as a course, as a career I decided to choose.
Okay.
Yeah, so software engineering is totally different from CCNA. Software engineering deals with creating scalable systems, designing systems, applications for individuals or companies. So it's two different fields.
Okay. Now, in software, which programming, like which language did you use in learning software engineering? Like what's your specialty in it? Or did you just study cut across all, or you specialize in a particular language?
When you say which language did I use to study software engineering, software engineering is not a language.
Okay.
Okay, software engineering is it's a process.
Mhm.
But I understand what you're trying to ask me, but just to clarify our viewers, software engineering is not a language, it's not a it's a process of how things are done to develop softwares.
Okay.
So yeah, but now at the level of the languages which of my at the level of my specialty in building, I am more specialized in web applications, mobile applications, and cloud infrastructures.
All
Where
right. So
where for my web applications I use JavaScript, I
okay,
use
okay,
Python, and
okay.
I use PHP.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know, even though I did not rephrase it very well, right? I wanted to know which language you specify in doing software engineering. Perfect. So you
Okay.
can build across and then yes, very grounded in it. Now,
Yeah.
let's go back to the business part, right? So
Yes.
what is your plan for Cameroon? What is your plan for Cameroon in software engineering? What is your plan for Cameroon? What are your objectives for the next 10 years? Or let's say, what is your vision 2030, right? How do you see the Cameroon system, especially when it comes to small businesses? This is a target. All those big corporations, they have they endorse people and they have their system, right? I don't think that's a
Yeah.
problem. But these small businesses, that's the target. So what is your vision 2030?
I think going directly to Vision 2030, it's interesting, but I think we need to start before we go to Vision 2030. We should start with what needs to be done to achieve Vision 2030.
Okay.
Okay. The first thing Cameroonians need to learn the importance of the digital world to their day-to-day life. That's the first thing
Mm-hmm.
Cameroonians need to know. Cameroonians need to know there is a way out. You must
Okay.
not you must not do everything manually, because the problem with our country today is everything is done manually. I think 2 weeks ago I went to a company in Bonamusadi, and I was so shocked at how things are done manually there. And the
Mm-hmm.
company deals with money. When someone comes to get a service or to pay for something, it's registered with money.
Oh, we lost our there. Let's give him a second. He'll join us very soon. Again, the network situation around the world now, not only in Africa, is terrible. I have talk shows with people from all over. It's terrible. The network is
Hello?
terrible. I can
You
hear
guys can
you.
get me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Let me. Okay,
Okay.
you are back again.
Yeah, like what I was saying, as you were saying, par rapport at the Vision 2030, we need to start by educating Cameroonians on the advantages they are going to benefit from digitalizing their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
It's absurd that in 2026 someone is still doing accounting manually. It's
Yeah,
absurd.
you
In
because you mentioned, yeah, you mentioned that you went to an office and then they were still
yeah,
inputting.
yeah, everything was still done manually. It's absurd in 2026, a company does not have an online presence. We focus more on building an office, renting an office space, but it's absurd in 2026 we still have such issues which we are not supposed to be having.
I mean, you're so correct. Like in one of my previous episodes, can you imagine? Can you imagine in 2026 there are still schools that have been in existence for 50 years? Schools that are even bigger than Cameroon itself do not have ordinary website.
Wow,
Ordinary
now you
website.
understand.
Yes, that is
Now,
it is
now you understand.
yes. I mentioned right in my previous show, I used to be a teacher. And I said last time that a student called me one time to me to be a reference for that student. It's so sad each time I say this story because I don't know where that student is. And the school that I was supposed to do that reference for, the school in America or London, it was in London, wanted a reference through a professional email. Professional email. They don't want a Gmail. You know, some of those examples I gave, right? So that is the impact. That is the importance of your institution having a website that you can give them about 100 or 200 permanent or on a yearly basis professional email options. As schools do not have this. I mean, we can run a test now, right? We can run a test now and start searching all the schools that we attend online. Will not say website. Or we can go now. If
Definitely.
you want, right? I can overlay it now. Let's see. Um,
Definitely.
yes, let's share. Let me share the screen. Let me share. Let me just go to a new tab. Okay. Let me start the repertoire. Let me
I
start
think I
repertoire.
think they
That's the
have
alma
one
mater I
now.
know. Okay, they have one. I can see
I
they have one. It's
I think they have one.
re,
Father Sop Alexander created this website. I think that was 2008.
2008. Okay. Thank God for Father Sop. May he so rest in peace. Now let's go. Let me check another
Amen.
one. All right. Let me check. Just give me an example. I don't know which school should we sample.
Yeah, I'm not even versed with secondary schools. It's been long I left secondary schools.
Okay.
But we can just take an example. Just take
Let me
any
see this
government
one.
bilingual school.
Let me see PGSS Limbe. No website. No website. This is not a website. You see, PGSS Limbe, no website. This is a big school,
Yeah.
right? No website. Let me see PCSS Boya. PCSS Boya. No website. No website.
And this
I,
thing affects most of their students, but they are not aware of it.
they are not aware. It affects most of their students. Let me go to BGS Moliko. BGS Moliko. Yes, this BGS Moliko has a website. I mean, this is a good government institution. This school is very advanced. I like it. They have a website. Let me see. Let me give one more example. One private school, like let's say one popular private school in Boya. Um, how do you call it? Frank Fee Bilingual College. Frank Fee. Frank Fee. Let me just put Frank Fee Boya.
You'll be shocked.
Frank Fee Boya. It's not even like it does not even have a
You'll be
search option. Yeah. Can you hear me, sir? We lost our guest there. I think he'll be back. We'll just battle this network as it is. Viewers, please, you can comment, keep commenting, share, like, please keep commenting. Send your comments. I'm going to display them on the screen. Okay, our guest is back. Please send your comments. I'm going to display them on the screen. Okay, you're back once more. Don't worry, we'll battle like that. Yes.
So, yeah, we'll get to the end. For it. Like I was saying, this is a common problem in Cameroon. That's not only for schools. If you go into businesses, you will see most businesses in Cameroon don't have a website. Not to start talking about a system which handles their day-to-day operation. If you call 10 entrepreneurs in Cameroon, you ask them, how do they manage their day-to-day operations? How do they manage their company? They are going to tell you about Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. That's all they'll tell you about.
No, well, at least some of them even have Excel and Words. Some of them even know that they can use Excel. No, because there are others that don't even know those things exist. Not to talk of using it. At least those ones even know they can use Excel.
Perfect.
But it's still not enough.
Why for me it's shocking, and it's still not enough, because like there is this aspect which I've learned. I learned in the last 2 years. It's confidentiality.
Sure.
Like when you build your own system, you tell it to be the way you want it to be. You tell it to answer your needs. It's true, Microsoft Excel is going to answer a whole lot of needs when it comes to maybe like accountancy, stuff like that, but it's still not your own. It wasn't made for your business. Imagine if you create something that answers your business needs.
Excellent. This point you just made, it's a turning point of system in Cameroon. Like I was saying to someone the other day, right? Facebook is a global, for example, Facebook is a global platform. It's meant to solve global problems of communication, friendship, and so on, right? Global.
Yeah.
But now, because you have Facebook, doesn't mean it's going to solve our local problems in Boya when it concerns system. Facebook cannot solve our local problems. I cannot go now to Facebook and say I want a technician who can be a plumber or this, and Facebook will give me, you understand, just suggestion, right? A local system, a customized system is very important for every business. And you can start achieving that by having your personal website. You can just simply search your name online, and with good SEO, everything comes out.
Your information comes out. That I was speaking with a friend a couple of days ago, and I told him the first thing which we need to change in Cameroon is the aspect of thinking that computer is for the young. I remember when growing up, my dad was like, it has no use. Computer, in fact, he saw computer as a tool to play games. And if you are honest within your circle, you are still going to see that mentality is still there today, but it's in a different way. Computers, mobile phones, they are just to take pictures and do Snapchat, do TikTok videos. That's all. We don't like the Cameroonian population, or let me just say, there is a percentage of the Cameroonian market that has still not known what they can do with a mobile phone. They still don't know what they can do with a computer.
Mm-hmm.
You imagine you are going to meet a girl in software engineering nowadays. I just had some mentors from UGED. I just had some mentees from UGED. I was their mentor because they did the academic internship with me. And one bully told me her laptop was to watch films, but she's a software engineering student.
That is very sad.
And it's that mentality that's going to grow. That's why I say it's something we need to start changing. We need to educate ourselves now that if I get a website, what does the website give me in return? That's what people need to know. And it goes far beyond just getting a website, because after having a website, there are things you still need to do for the website to start giving you returns.
Oh, so people make money through website. I'll come to that. You have to highlight that so that people understand. I'll come to that. But I just wanted to talk about this computer. A lot of people don't know that computer is artificial intelligence. The word artificial intelligence, people think that artificial intelligence is something that started 2 days ago, yesterday. Computer itself is artificial intelligence. It's artificial intelligence for a reason. We, human beings, we are intelligence. The computer is artificial intelligence. It was made to mimic us. Like, it is from our experience, from our existence, that someone thought it wise. We want something that can be like us. So the computer is designed to be like us, you understand? Because we are the proper intelligence. We can think, but they cannot think, but they are programmed to function in a particular way. So which means, what can you do? Which means a computer, based on what you instruct it can do a lot, it can do more, it can do most things you ask it to do. So it's not just a gaming tool. It's not just a tool that you see and then just use it or keep or to watch movies or entertainment in general. It's more than that. It depends on what you want to do and based on its instruction. All right. Now, going back to what our brother or our guest just said here, our huge professional, he mentioned something very, very important. I want him to highlight, right? You gain while owning a system. How do you make money? Even if it take you 10 years, how do you make money from a system? Tell us.
Okay, how do I make money from a system? It depends. Not all systems are going to generate income. There are systems who are going to generate you income, and there are systems who are going to preserve your income.
Okay.
I'll take an example. I'll take an example of a shop in the market.
Okay.
No, shop in the market is just too basic. It's going to be a little bit complicated. But let's go to a supermarket. Imagine if people had to come into the supermarket and they just go and present the product at the cashier, then they go. Do you know how much is good? Do you know how much a supermarket is going to lose in a day, or how much is going to be lost in a year? Because the cashier or the teller is never going to. There's this trust issue. The teller is never going to present all the money at the end of the day. I hope you
record clashing.
Yes. So there are systems who are there to preserve your investment. There are systems who are there to generate income or generate revenue, and there are systems who are there to monitor. So the needs of customers are different. Let's come back to a website. The way you were asking, how will a website give you money?
Okay.
You build a website. You build a website. Let's say you are a carpenter. You make beds. You make shoes. You build a website, and on the website there is a section where you portray services which you have done. Now, after building your website is deployed online. Then let's say you run an SEO campaign on your website, where Google optimizes your website for requests, for search. Imagine how many clicks and searches you are going to convert to customers, because people will see what you have done and they'll be interested. They are going to call you. But now the whole world, from the comfort of their homes or their offices, they are able to see what you've done. Not everybody is going to be able to come to your store. Not everybody is going to be able to come to your place. But when you have an online presence, simply means you have a store online. You have a store accessible to the whole world. You have a store running 247. So
not just Cameroon, not just Boya, not just your neighborhood, but everybody. Yes. And the advantage is that, let me just add, the advantage is that online people don't beat prices. They just buy. You understand?
Welcome to Cameroon, where you still
buy and they trust you to deliver to them. They don't come and beat prices. They don't come and give you commissions. Yes, you understand.
Welcome,
So it is very, very, very
well,
important, right? Your system. I get you. I
welcome
get you.
to Cameroon where you see
Now,
argue
there's
prices.
something that I want to.
Because,
Yeah, there's a lot I want
like,
you to
what I was,
clarify or ask about you, but
yeah,
I want to focus on your business and your strategy. Right? But there's a lot I'm still to ask you, but I want to focus on your business and strategy concerning like this website
like
stuff.
yeah,
Now, we have identified that every business out there, don't minimize it, you need a system. Understand?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Baba, there are so many business out there, they need a system. We have already identified that. So, if a Baba is listening now, how do you go about building a website for them? We know they need it. It's clear they need it. Schools and
Mm-hmm,
so on, they need it. So, what do you
mm-hmm.
charge? What is your procedure in achieving that website to them? What do you need from them, and what do they have to provide to you in coming out with a system? We're sampling a website now. We'll go to app later, but now we're sampling just a website. What do they need from them, and what do they need from you?
Okay. There is a website, there is a web application, and there is a mobile application. We are talking of website.
Okay.
Now,
Yes.
the thing I'm going to ask, the first and fundamental question I'm going to ask the Baba is, why do you want a website? What's
Okay.
your objective? It's true you need a website, but what's the objective of the website? What do you want the website to do? Do you want it to do you want it to to advertise your business? Do you want it to help you retain customers? Those are the two things I'm going to ask him. Do you want customer retention or do you want advertisement?
Okay.
Now, if you want advertisement, I'm going to build you a beautiful website, which in the website we are going to portray the different types of haircuts, the different type of services which you offer. We are going to
Okay.
deploy the website. Yeah, we are going to run, and because I cannot be talking of a barber, then I'm talking about SEO because SEO is costly. I will
Okay.
talk of maybe a Google ad because a Google ad is pay as you go. It's not that
Okay.
expensive as an SEO. We can talk of
Okay.
we can talk of Facebook ads where we are going to
Okay.
run. We are going to publish the guy's website for it to get more clicks and views. Now, once he has clicks, he has views, definitely he's going to have contacts. People
Okay.
are definitely going to contact him, try and book him. Now, after we've done a website, what I can recommend is
Mm-hmm.
for him to build a mobile application, which that mobile application has just one rule: let people be able to book him. The more people, anybody that comes through that website, through that mobile
Okay.
application, anybody that comes through that mobile application, you have to bill him times two. The price has to be high because you need to maintain that website, that application, sorry, and only those who are ready to pay should be able to book an appointment. And I know barbers in Lopomia who charge a haircut at your house for 8,000 francs, 10,000 francs.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine if you don't give a customer the luxury experience. Because on your website, I have to ensure the customer always has that luxury experience feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that he has to be sure that he has to be convinced that the person he's dealing with it's a professional. So the
Mm-hmm.
website is just bringing you professionalism.
Excellent. Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. So
100% agreed.
it's the professionalism. But like I said, everything about building websites, mobile applications, web applications, it revolves around the problem. What do the person wants to solve? It always revolves around that.
Okay. I was just reading into a comment here. Let me put it on stage. I think you guys are only focusing, identifying these areas of improvement and addressing whether these systems can be built or not. This is okay. This, I think, is not the core problem. The core question we should be asking is why people don't lean into these innovative ideas, even when they know it could boost sales or ensure automation. Why people don't lean into these ideas. That's from Eddie Bright. Thank you very much, Eddie Bright, for your comment. Thank you very much. Why people don't lean into these ideas.
Can you just read all comments? Can you just read all comments? I think we have some.
Okay, let's start with this one, and I'll go to the other comments. Let's try this one first. Like the quick core question here is why people don't lean into these innovative ideas, even when they know it could boost sales or ensure automation. Why people don't lean into this? What do you think?
I'm going to say everybody has a role to play. Everybody has a role to play. So I'm going to start by saying the government has a very big role to play in the IT sector in Cameroon, because we are going to see it's now that we are seeing Cameroon government trying to digitalize some stuff. If the government hasn't yet shown the people that digitalize your stuff, because we are digitalizing our stuff, how do you think people are going to trust? Because Cameroon, for me being a Cameroonian, I'm going to tell you something honestly. Cameroonians have a trust issue. Cameroonians have a problem of adapting to new stuffs. Cameroonians are always the last to adapt to anything in the market. So it's not like they don't know, like I was saying at the beginning, it's not like they don't really just know about it, but Cameroonians haven't yet seen the importance. Cameroonians don't want to change. Those are
They're
problems.
sluggish to change. Yeah.
We are very rigid. I'll take an example. There are people who have used MTN network. I for myself, I for one, I've never had Orange network. It has always been MTN. We are difficult to accept change. Secondly, around us, our environment hasn't shown us that we can do with this. It's of recent which we are seeing things like Yango, but becoming popular. But Yango is not a company that started today. Yango is not a company that started today, but it's of recent because the company has persisted in the market and the people have seen that it's possible. So I wanted to start by blaming the government, that the government hasn't done enough to show people that you can do with IT, or you need IT to succeed. I take another example. You go to a school, there is no computer lab, or there is a computer lab which students never go there. How do you think the mentality is going to grow that while growing up, I need to digitalize my stuff? You said some schools here, you saw that schools don't even have a website. So for me, I think the reason why people don't go into this is more of a trust issue. The government hasn't shown them that they need it. The environment hasn't shown them that it's important. Today, when you hear people saying, I'm an online vendor, what's the online vendoring they're doing? It's posting on their WhatsApp status and posting on Facebook. But I will guarantee you in the US, you know so well that when you talk about online marketing, it goes far beyond just social media marketing.
Yes, a lot of stakeholder system are involved in that. A lot.
So when my brother here, Bright, talks of people don't want to lean into this idea, I just feel like the government, first of all, hasn't shown them a reason. Secondly, the environment hasn't shown them a reason to lean. So that's why I think we are here to talk about it. How are we going to make people to move towards that direction?
Okay.
And I think, yeah.
Okay, I understand. I'll put some other questions, but just to add, right? I understand that the government have a big role, but I'm not a fan of people that I'm not like that type of people that will first of all call the government. But I know they're not doing enough. I know they have a big role to play. But I also think us as individuals, as a community, right? We can change that narrative. You understand? We can limit it to the extent which we invite the government, that the government will come. But a lot of things have to be done by ourselves. Now, I'll take, for example, there's one part of business that we fail to understand. Business is meant to educate the public. When MTN came with mobile money started existing a long time ago, but people only accepted it 5 or 6 years later after its existence, right? During that 5-year period, what they were doing was education. They were educating the public on why it is important for you to have mobile money. A lot of business are there that are educating. They don't even make profit now, but you spend some time educating the public until they become used to you, until they cannot do without you. Understand? Then they'll engage. Another example is Uber. Only about 2 years ago, Uber started making profit. The Uber that you know. For a long time
Yeah.
that they have been existing on a loss. But their vision was we must educate the public to depend on self-driving. Until we get to that stage, then we will rebrand and then the profits start coming in. Another example is
That's why I spoke
Amazon.
of
Amazon,
Yangu.
yes,
That's why I
exactly
spoke
like
of
Yango.
Yangu.
Another example is Amazon. Amazon have been existing. It didn't make profit. It has been on loss, on loss, on loss until they even interviewed the head of Amazon one time. They asked him to spell the word profit. He spelled the word profit, meaning he has a vision. And today we have a society where people are addicted to online ordering, online, and now he's a billionaire. You understand? So I think it is our duty as investors. It is our duty as investors to educate the public. It is our duty as telecom. So whatever system we are going to use to survive and then make these people know that this thing is important, they need to engage with it. They will come with time. But it's our duty as an environment, right, to engage each other into this and make sure this is a path that is going. We don't have a choice. Either we do this or we must do this. If I don't do it, another person will do it. If you don't do it, another person will do it. But it must be done. It's about the thing. It must be done. So I think that would be the answer to that question, right? Even if the people are not leaning now on it, they will tomorrow, depending on the effort we put there now. They are going to engage definitely tomorrow. Of course, the next generation coming will not be the generation of this nonchalant, sluggish, right? Generation we have out there, understand, post whatever, right? The next generation coming, they are into ICT. ICT is their thing, right? They are not bluffing about it. They are into ICT. All right, let me put the next comment there. I think this is for Nyambi.
And
Nyambi Blaze.
just to round up with Bright, what I spoke about two things. I spoke about the government and I spoke about our environment. After the government, the second most important actor in this is the environment. Where the environment now it's you and I. How do we preach about this to those around us?
Mhm.
How do we
Yeah,
tell them? Yeah, how do we tell them this is going to help them? Because I think it's very difficult to just bring a solution and put it in front of someone tomorrow, tell him to use this in his business. 9 on 10 times he's going to fail. So
sure.
the environment needs to educate people because the environment will preach to you, then you definitely want to try it out and see. That's just
Most
what I can tell you.
definitely. Yes, I think we have the bigger responsibility, right? If you start living your life and ignoring the government, you have a very wonderful life because the government is never designed for. The government depend on us more than we depend on them. That's just a reality and fact. Everywhere I've seen and observed government, most government they depend on the people more than the people depend on them. That they will benefit from our
Okay.
skills and our whatever we have out there. So I don't even put them in my plans. I build my plans, and then whenever they come in, we just dance along and then we move. All right, the next comment, we understand tech is rapidly evolving as a result of AI these days. How does your company implement security operations into development, DevOps,
Okay. At
DevSecOps?
GTS, we treat security with utmost care. We treat security with utmost care, where during the design phase, we already start thinking about security. But just to answer Mr. Nyambi Bless, I want to tell him at GTS, when we are building our CI/CD pipeline, we ensure all vulnerabilities are tracked so that we are not going to have like a surprise in the future because we use like as we say we use new technologies to build stuff, but we also need to ensure the things which we are building is secured and reliable for our users.
Okay. They use latest technologies out there be it software or hardware, but based on their platforms they use the latest technology out there to guarantee security for any system. Okay, I will still
And
have more questions here.
and
Let's go
as
back to Eddie Bright. Yeah, let me put this comment again from Eddie Bright. Will you agree with me? It falls on the innovator to prove their system can work and it's safe. Because you mentioned trust as an issue, which I can agree with both with but do not actually think these innovations deliver value. So he's
I
basically
I
saying,
agree,
yeah.
I agree with Bright 100%. I agree with Bright 100%. Why do I agree with Bright? Like an innovator should be the first one to give a testimony of his product. An innovator should be able to convince somebody to use this product, and the product now is in charge of retaining the customer. So I agree with Bright 100%, but I don't think Mr. Bright is going to deny with me that Cameroonians have this problem. Cameroonians have this trust issue. It's very difficult to change the habit of a Cameroonian. Someone, if you propose, let's just say you bring an accounting software to a businessman in the market, he's going to tell you, let's take an example. A man has a small poissonnerie in the market. You bring an accounting software, a stock management system. I think the first thing he's going to tell you is, ça va me perdre le temps. It's going to waste him time. I think he's going to look at the time he's going to waste inputting that, but not looking at the fact that it's going to make him not lose money. It's going to give him data which is going to help him make a decision. It's going to help him make decisions tomorrow. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, the reason why I say trust is something which Cameroonians lack is, let me compare it to the Nigerian market. Nigeria has how many fintech companies? I'll take fintech because I'm into the fintech sector also. Nigeria
Mm-hmm.
has how many fintech companies? Cameroon hasn't yet accepted um how do they call this one in Kwa? That's another fintech. Cameroon hasn't accepted it. Which fintech company do you know that has succeeded in Cameroon? Apart from Mavians, which Mavians is still leaning behind mobile money. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll want Mr. Bright to answer me that one. Don't you see Cameroonians are difficult to accept change? How many fintech companies have come into Cameroon and died? So many. So it's a habit issue for Cameroonians. Cameroonians don't know how to swap. A francophone is boldly going to tell you he has never used MTN and he doesn't feel like using MTN because he has that is one SIM card. He doesn't want to change it. I have done that, and I think even you before leaving Cameroon, you did that.
Okay. No, most definitely. I only use MTN. For some reason, it was MTN. Then we waited for Said Mobile. Said Mobile, I was waiting for Said Mobile to like, okay, what's happened with Said Mobile? But the business didn't hold any grass. So we all went back to our MTN. All right, let me see this comment from Nyambi. I think Emon Eddie Bright replied. What opportunities does your company offer to students and other interns looking for an opportunity to showcase their skills and competencies?
Okay, I just had my first batch of interns. There were three of them, HNZ students.
Mm,
So I am our company is open to integrating interns. Our company is open to even giving them an opportunity after their internships.
mhm,
At Godwin Tech Solution, I think, in fact, not that I think, our way of working is when we receive our interns, we try to orientate them on what they want to do. Like, we talk with them, we know where they want to specialize, we give them
mhm.
career orientations, because nowadays, especially especially in Cameroon, it's difficult to say you want to be a front end developer or you want to be a back end developer, because the Cameroon market is in search of full stack developers. So at
Mm-hmm.
GTS, mostly try to train front end developers, full stack developers. But if you really want to specialize on something, we are ready to follow you through.
Fantastic. So, Mr. Nyambi Blaze, all right. I think we have a couple of questions here again. We'll go through everyone. Mr. Eddie Bright replied, now you are on hitting the point. The environmental factor is the real deal breaker. Yeah, because every environment shapes mindset more than mindset shapes environment. So how do we re-engineer our environment to be more receptive to these innovations? So
Just
I think
like
he's just
young,
basically agreeing with what you're saying there. Okay, but I
just
think
like
he's still to reply you.
just like Yango, just like MTN mobile money when it came out in 2012 or 2013, just like Uber, just like Amazon, we have to start today. Like because there is this thing, life is not a quick fix. IT is not a quick fix. Softwares are not quick fix. So it's we have to inculcate this in the day-to-day life of our environment, of the people around us, sorry. We have to inculcate it in their day-to-day life. So we have to start today and hoping for a better tomorrow. We cannot fold our arms and wait in 10 years, in 20 years, and say Cameroon hasn't changed. If today we agree that Cameroon is stagnant, Cameroon is rigid, then let's start today so that tomorrow we are going to see changes.
We benefit. Exactly. I totally agree on you on that. You must start now as it's difficult. It's the best time to start, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be too saturated. You may not even be able to catch up with the latest or recent development. So start now and bear the risks of educating Cameroonians of the importance of introducing a system in everything you do, in every little business. We need a system. For security, we need a system. For sustainability, we need a system. In fact, in every category, think about it, there is a system for you. And Mr. Day and his company, Goodwill, they are going to provide you a system for your business. Let's go to the next comment. How do you get your clients? And I would like this is from Zenkan Gabriel. Sorry for not reading your name earlier. How do you get your clients? And I would like to know as well. Do you think every company needs to have a presence online, irrespective of their products?
Okay. I will start with how do I get my clients? I get my clients through referrals, mouth to mouth, like mouth to mouth advertisement from Fuman Kosi Busha already. Then TikTok. That's how I get my clients. But my highest number of clients I always get comes from referrals. You do a good job, you are definitely assured to be referred. Okay, he also
Okay.
says, I'd like to know as well, do you think every company needs to have an online presence? I think every company needs to have an online presence. If if you as a company you have a physical location, I think you should have an online presence because with an online presence, I irrespective of the product, a pharmacy, be it a barber, be it a woman selling tomatoes in the market, be it someone selling sand, be it someone selling blocks, molding blocks and selling. I think everybody should have an online presence because an online presence doesn't only open you to the local market, but it also opens you to the global market.
Okay. Perfect. Excellent. Everyone needs, so that to answer your question, every business needs an online presence. Now, to add to that, there are about, at the last survey, if I'm not mistaken, somebody can fact check me, there are about 18 to 20 billion electronic gadgets out there. Plus, right? These gadgets are being used by people. Telephone in particular. Do you know how many million phones we have in Cameroon? And people are on those phones every day. So an online system is maximizing people's time or taking advantage of the fact that people are always present online. You get it? Take advantage.
So
You're refocusing your market to another sector. It is very important. So every business, you need to get an
let me give
advantage.
let me give an example to Mr. Gabriel.
It's,
Let me give an example to Mr. Gabriel. I was scrolling through TikTok the other day. I saw somebody advertising a bucket of fried rice with chicken. I think people that our viewers must have seen adverts. I've been seeing videos like that. When you see such a video, go through the comment section. Watch how many people you see that are saying "intéressé." How much? Where are you located?
mhm.
Imagine if the person just opened a small place behind or opened a small place somewhere. Do you think they would have had such visibility? The online presence is not only for you to sell. No, it's not about you selling, but it's about telling people, I offer this. So you can contact me if you need it.
Also, to add to that, if I understand very well, that having an online presence is creating some certain awareness and is an asset in the future, because there are
Yes.
people that will see something today. So you do this business, all right, keep it, but they'll buy in 5 years' time. When they are
True.
ready, they might be ready to buy in 10 years' time. If you're still running that
True.
business, you'll be the first option in their mind. That's why it's important to have an online presence, because some people just keep and store things. For example, in my phone, I have saved a lot of things I don't need today. But trust me, a moment I need, I know where to go because I've saved it. You understand?
Yes. So
So there's so
that's it.
many advantages. So many advantages. There's another question here from a follow-up from the same person, Mr. Zengang Gabriel. A follow-up. How will you sell that idea to a person in a remote area? Very good question. A remote area. Example of such
Okay.
remote area, like which area can be so remote in Cameroon? Which area?
Ekondo Titi.
Or we can use that. People of Ekondo Titi, please do not be. It's. I mean, let's just take Ekondo Titi
It's
for
just
example.
it's just the name. The name that name has always been funny to me when I hear it. Okay, let's take an environment where there is network issues. There, let's take an example where there is network issue. I'm going to be very
Mhm.
honest with Gabriel. It's going to be so difficult convincing somebody who does not even have service, perfect service in his area, to digitalize a business. Someone who is not able to make a phone call without moving. It's so difficult. But if you show the person that if your product, okay, because if I talk about if you show the person, it's going to be different. But if you present a product that solves a particular problem which the person is encountering, I can guarantee you he's going to buy. He's going to work with you. That's why from the beginning I said software engineering is not this
Another network issue. We keep battling with network. I mean, like I said, currently now in the
hello?
world, network. Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
You hear me?
Yes, can you hear me? I can hear you clearly. All right, give me a second and add to stage. Are you there? Just a bit of refresh. We do just refresh a little bit and then you come back. Thank everyone for your comments. Keep sending your comments. We are going to
Okay.
read it out and then say something about it. If you have
Okay,
any
like
question,
like
please ask. All right.
like I said in the beginning, software engineering it's not all about creating softwares. It's not about creating these beautiful applications which you see. All these
Mhm.
applications which you see nowadays, they solve a problem. So I will not go to a remote area and go and propose somebody their website. No,
Sure.
I will not propose a website to that person. I am going to search a problem which he has and I propose him something to solve the problem. One thing I know is like one thing I know is we always have a problem. Be it your business, be it your life, be it in academics, there is always a problem everybody's going through. So, just to answer Mr. Gabriel here is somebody in a remote place, I'm going to propose him something different.
In other words, there is a system. And in 2026, I don't really think connection, unless it's a global connection issue, but there's remote connection now. Like everybody can be connected easily.
How many?
There's
Not everybody can afford internet. Okay, not everybody can afford that connectivity which you're talking of. There are still people
no.
in some zones. Okay, let me just take an example. Where I
Mhm.
live, Camtel does not have internet. So if you bring your SIM card to my quarter, if you are using Camtel, once you get to my quarter, you no longer have connectivity.
Okay, yeah, I understand that, right? Not on an individual basis. I wasn't saying that on an individual. Like I personally now, there's a connection for me, but on a community basis, right? If you have connection issues, you cannot afford Camtel, or Camtel cannot come there because they deal with, they have big equipment, they have to come on plan and so on. But I think now, with with um with Elon Musk and his, how they call his network,
Starlink.
um, Starlink. With Starlink, I think it's possible on a community basis. Our community can decide that, okay, through this we can be connected, right? A community come together and then they provide a temporary connection situation out of what maybe the government planned for you, which they are taking their time to come and connect. You understand? So things like that can be possible. It depends on how determined they are, how determined they are. But all the same, I still agree with you. Those people, their problem is even getting connected, not to talk of start connecting and having a website. And then their
Yeah.
major issue is connection. So you cannot be telling someone who doesn't even have a direct line to call somebody that you need a website to start doing. You need a website to start. Most of them are doing banga business, or most of them are doing million business. So
Yeah.
how will you go? Even though there's a system for them, but it's not the right time, right? It's not the right time. Unfortunately, that's it. Yeah, I think there's another question still from Mr. Gabriel. Is there a way to drop anonymous reviews, please? Is it to your business now? I think to your business platform, like it needs like a website link. Can we go through your website or your platform so that we can drop a
There is
review?
no way to there is no way to drop anonymous reviews. If Mr. Gabriel wants to view, I'll give him the website. We currently have a website. We have a Facebook page. We have a TikTok page. So I'll drop it in the chat.
Okay. I think you'll be waiting, dropping a chat. If Mr. Gabriel was talking about my own platform, I am globalagentconnect.blog. So globalagentconnect.blog. Wherever you're watching, my website link is in the description. You can see globalagentconnect.blog. You can see we have our social media handles there. And that's it. Mr. Bright, we have another question from Mr. Bright. The question just keep popping. I actually think we are dealing with a multi-layer roadblock here, and we are still just scratching the surface. The trust and environmental factors have been identified as the core issue here, and discussions to drive actionable solution needs to be extensive and research driven. Lots of vocabulary in this comment.
Okay.
This guy must be very
Okay,
grounded.
Mr.
Right.
I agree with Mr. Bright on a full scale that a lot of research needs to be done. But I think
Sure.
Mr. Bright also is going to agree with me that every environment has a different problem. It, let, I'll quote an example. If you go, every environment has a different problem, but it still boils down to trust. If you go to Bastos at Yaoundé, you 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 have to talk to business owners there. I think the language which you're going to use is going to be very different from if you have to go to like Boya Town, if you go to Moliko to go and talk to people there, I think the language is different. The the, the 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 communication there is going to be different. So true, it's very true that the research has to be experienced with them. You have to understand that trust, trust issues are not easily handled. Trust issues are not easily solved because there is somebody who is not going to use your product just because of a certain color. There is somebody who is not going to use your product just because maybe you're on your phone. I hope I'm not wrong on that, but like the trust and environmental factor are very serious things which I don't think an individual can solve it. I don't think an individual can solve it. I think it takes a community. It takes a brain rewiring to be able to solve it.
Most definitely, right? But also, in just to say something about that, there are doers and there are people who just observers.
And their
You
followers,
understand?
yes.
One and their followers. So in the situation which we find Cameroon now and our system, right, we need doers, people who, even to an extent, you don't even need a research now to, even though research, as important as a research is, a lot of research have been done about Cameroon. There's government record, there's individual records. I mean, what we need is action. What we need is people who can do things, who can start things, and succumb the pressure of the first time failure. Even if you fail, there's nothing wrong. But we need people that can start, that want to just keep go. That's what we need because the research have already been done. There's a lot of research out
Yes.
there. I mean, the Western world knows about our research even more than us because they are action doer. They take action. The research is out there, already done. There's already a map, like the government. You go to all councils, right? There's already a map out of how things are supposed to be. If you want the land research, there's already a map out of how a system are going to be built and implemented. There's already a system research. MTN already have a research. Those researches are public. You can go research them. Even if you need to buy those research to understand how to implement system, they are already out there, right? But our mentality needs us to start. Like, because of the type of mentality we have as Cameroonians, we need to start because that is the start that will bring the most important change. So that the next generation that is coming is not be the generation of I'll fold my arms and wait for somebody to do it. It will be the next generation of I'm continuing what has been left behind for me to do. Yeah, but just to mention, right, sir, I noticed that our generation, like I don't even have, there's no mentor in Cameroon. Cameroon, we don't even have a mentor. We don't have even people we look up to. Things are just standing. You understand? Which means few people are taking actions. You understand? So that is a very big problem. Few people are taking action. I think what is mostly
That's
needed is
true.
action. Just take action, right? Research has
That's
already
true.
been done. Keep it up, brothers. This is from Decardino Le Paris. Keep it up, brothers. Thank you very much, brother. You are one of a kind. Thank you for your comment. We'll keep it up. A lot of people will be coming to this show and we are going to sensitize each other to achieve our desired dreams and goals for our country, for our life, and for our environment. We'll keep going. Okay, I think there's no other comment for now. We can go to the question question I wanted you to answer, but the questions kept
Okay.
coming, so we had to trash that out. Okay, a website, a system. We're still going now. Let me go now to our urban cities. All right. Do you think our
Yeah.
urban cities like Boya, Limbe, you mentioned Bastos and so on, and comparing it to Nigeria, you mentioned fintech in Nigeria, money system. So now for global system, like now, what system do you think we need now in Cameroon urgently? Apart from the fact that people will need their personal website, app, and so on a global scale, this one is what the government can do to assist or what big enterprises can do. What system do we need in Cameroon now? What system?
What Cameroon actually needs now is a system that is going to manage interbank transfers because
Interbank transfers.
yeah, we know in Cameroon it's still impossible. Not impossible, it's still so difficult for you to sit in your house and send money from a UBA account to maybe an EcoBank account instantly. You can do the payment, but you can do the transfer, but it's going to take a couple of days for it to be validated. So I think that's the biggest thing Cameroon needs at this moment.
Interbank transfer. So what is stopping? Is that we don't have developers, or do you think it's just government regulation that is stopping that, or it's something out of that? Is it that there's nobody to develop a system, which are down? There are a lot of system engineers out there, but do you think it's about regulation?
I think that's a question which I don't really have a solid answer to, because I will not say Cameroon lack the developers or the engineers to engineer something like that. I will not say Cameroon. Nah, that's a very difficult answer to give, because we don't know why in 2026 you cannot do it. And from the look of things, even in 2030, you will not be able to send money from one bank account to another, while it happens in almost every
Disastrous.
country. Yeah,
Disastrous.
it happens in almost every country,
Almost
but
every
not.
country, like every okay. Now let me go. Every bank has an app, right? Like for example, the banks
Yeah.
in Cameroon, EcoBank, UBA Bank, they have that special app. So in that special app, you can transfer to another bank, but the only thing is it takes about 2 business or 3 business days for the money to reach. Not that it is there's no transfer, but
Impossible.
it takes longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But
So is it
but
is
in
it that
Nigeria, but in
is it
Nigeria
that
you can
the
in Nigeria you can
okay, go
send
ahead.
money from one bank to another, and instantly the transfer is done, just like mobile money.
So do you think is it about regulation? Do you think the government is regulating it, or is about security because of the maybe insecurity we have in the country? Every money
No, no,
transaction is
security.
observed for that.
I don't think no, not that I don't think security is not the problem. Security is not the problem. So we are still waiting to see how far GMAC is going to go, because there is a core GMAC. GMAC is the one that handles payments in Cameroon and some areas in West Africa. So let's see how GMAC is going to go. But I don't want to say it's a government regulation, because I'm not sure. That's why I said I don't understand the problem. But it's the biggest need Cameroonians need now. It's the biggest trouble Cameroonians have now.
Okay. Well, I agree with you. We need that. You understand? Instant money transfer. Right? If you
Yeah.
send money to abroad, it's faster than when you send money from one bank to another in Cameroon. That it's so
Yeah.
sad to even think about it. You understand? It's so sad to even think about it. We have been talking for 1 hour, 30 minutes. We have just a couple of few minutes to go. So now I want to showcase your business one more time to the viewers. So I'm going to like put your business information out there, but I don't know if it will be too clear for viewers to see. So, but you tell us where you're located, your address, and everything. If you can just input it in class before I flash the flyer you sent to
Okay.
us.
Okay. We are currently located at Lokpom Douala. So
Look
that's where
form.
we are located. Yeah. And when you are going to send the flyer, they will see our email. At Godwin Tech Solution, we build websites, we build mobile applications, we build
We did hear you. You're going to repeat that. We're having another network issue that is almost a constant thing in our country. We battle it. So while waiting for our guest to reconnect, I'm just going to show you his business. Fintech. That's it. Godwin Tech Solution, GTS. What we offer: web and mobile apps development. Was that tailored made website, like customized website for your particular need? Stored store development, online store, like if you sell things online, you do shopping online, they're going to build an online store for you. You understand? The phone number is there on the screen. You can see it, and their professional email where you can email them. Let me get the other one. Let me get the order. Services done. There's a services Godwin Tech Solution. So Godwin, okay, is here. Second. Professional IT services, web development, e-commerce sites, mobile application, presentation website, and so many other services. Google Ads. So I think you can just go through your services one more time so that the viewers can
Okay,
see.
at God, okay, the network is so bad, it keeps breaking. Like I was saying, at Godwin Tech Solution, we can do web development, we can do e-commerce websites for business people, online vendors, we can build mobile applications for companies, we can build personalized websites like what you were talking about, schools. We do cloud development, like we can help people build a cloud infrastructure using Amazon. We also do IT consultancy, like what you were talking about. When you need a service, we talk with you first and we can determine what's going to be the best approach in solving your problem. Or if you have
Fantastic.
if you have a system which you've already built, we can help you maintain the system. We also do
Okay.
SEO, we also do SEO optimization, and we also help businesses run Google Ads. You can contact us on WhatsApp or through the email there.
Okay. I'll put up some comments. We'll have comments keep coming. For bank transfer, I believe if the architecture interoperability between these players, it will be of great essence. I think I did not read that correctly. Architectural interoperability between these players, it will be of great essence. The good reality is that it's gradually gaining grounds, but needs more leverage. That's Desmond
It's
Beaches. Yeah.
it's true, it's actually gaining grounds, but we are talking about where we are as a nation. It's very bad. We are so slow, we are still too behind. You take We are in 2026. In a country like Cameroon, you cannot send money from one bank account to another. Like, it's true, like he said, it's gaining grounds, but it's not done. It's not realistically done for us. We haven't seen any idea of it, apart from Gmac that handles credit cards. They transfer of mobile money from one African nation, from Cameroon to maybe Nigeria. But for me it's still very blurred. For me, it's still very blurred. The government needs to intervene into that sector. I don't know if they see it as necessary, but I think they need to intervene there.
Okay. Let's get this other comment. Poor VoIP data carriers. I think this is
Yeah,
in respect to the services we need in Cameroon, right? So I think Mr. Ice-T Akotabi is trying to tell us that Cameroon he has a poor VoIP data carrier. So probably we need more on this.
for me, I think to solve this issue which Mr. Akotabi is talking about, I just think Cameroon need more competitors in the telecom sector. You cannot have
Excellent.
a coun- you cannot have a country of 30 million people and you're having two people handling the communication. In fact, you're having one person because you're having Camtel, then Camtel distributes to MTN and Orange, from what we know. So I think the government, most of these things, that's why when we're talking about problems faced in Cameroon, I started talking about the government, because the government has a big role to play in anything. If a small company will ever leave the stage of a small company to a medium-sized company, the government has something to do. Is it by
Okay.
financing? Is it by financing? Is it by regulation? That the government always has a role to play. Because if there were 3 or 4 companies doing telecom in Cameroon, I don't think we were still going to be at the level of complaining of such.
That's true. That's one of the reasons. Yeah, we don't have competition in Cameroon, and if there's no competition, we cannot have excellent services in every normal business. We understand that. Thank you, Mr. Ice T Akotabi, for your comment. It's very much appreciated. And our always present Nyambi Blaze, there's another question here. Is there a reason why your company opted for AWS over Azure for cloud development?
The Amazon ecosystem is big. I think that's the only reason why I moved with Amazon. The ecosystem. At least with Amazon, you easily find people who are going to be able to solve 1 or 2 problems. So the ecosystem is the simple reason.
Okay, like Amazon have a lot of client customer service representative out there. It's easy to work with them than other,
Yes.
and it's
Yes.
very popular at the same time.
Yeah.
Sometimes just go with what you know and verse with than any other thing. But Amazon, AWS, and over Azure, well, that's it. All of them, they are companies that will provide you the authentic services. Mr. Nyambi again is still asking, please, what is your company's website?
Okay, I'm typing it into the stream.
Okay, just type it. Let him check it out.
Okay, I've sent it.
Okay, Mr. Nyambi, you check it out. Yes, it has been typed and sent. Okay, that's it for all the questions. We don't have any questions so far, so we are just going to continue. Is there a reason why your company? Okay, still the same question. Okay, I think he has checked it out. Yes. I just saw his message. Everything good. All right, we are almost coming to the end of our stream. So you have seen the services our guest Godwin Tech Solution provide. I mean, this is a good tech company, and I know continue with these services and introducing more services in the future according to the company's need, or according to Cameroonians' need, which we are. We definitely have IT services needs that you are going to
By
provide. Now,
by the time this flyer was out, we still hadn't started the process of integrating AI into our customers' systems. So currently, we can also integrate AI. So we can integrate AI, which can help facilitate or automate processes done by our companies.
excellent, like chatbots and so on, isn't it?
Chatbots, text replies, like we are able to do that. Anything which you want an AI bot to do, we can help you do that.
Okay. Now, there are a lot of things we are supposed to talk about. Mr. Awa, please, we are going to have you again one more time, and then we'll go to some specific things. We don't have time today to go through everything we're supposed to say, but we really appreciate your time for coming here to explain us the realities of ICT in Cameroon and business and systems. We really appreciate your time. And all those that have been sending messages to us, thank you very much. All those that have been sending the love sign, thank you so much for your time and presence and your contribution to this podcast today. We really appreciate it, and we continue to keep in touch with you guys. Remember, Godwin Tech Solution. If you have any question, the phone number is there. In the description of this video, we're going to put every information. It's already there, but you can still double check if you want. We're going to put you can get in touch with Mr. Godwin Tech Solution. He's going to answer all your questions. He's going to give you everything you need, and he's going to groom you. He's going to handle your system. He's going to maintain your system. He's going to implement it, provide you security. Every services here, he's going to do it for you. He's very grounded, and he's also very young and has more to offer to us in the future. So thank you very much, viewers. I don't think we have any other question again, sir. Right? Is there any other thing you'd like to conclude before we go?
No, nothing to add.
Thank you very much. and God continue to give you grace to pursue this business to higher and higher heights. You understand? Also, your
Amen.
alma mater, make sure you fix the business of the website of your alma mater. Very important. I mean, charity starts at home.
True.
Yes, charity starts at home. I don't know who is a principal now. I think it's Madam Fulai. Is it?
Madam Fuller is the principal.
That's what I heard. I don't know if she's still the principal, but I know she was one time the principal of Regina Pacis College, Mutengene. So maybe we'll get in touch with her and show some, offer some services there. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. God continue to be with us, and we have come to the end of our stream. We cannot answer or say everything today, but we'll have you some other time. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you, everyone. Keep connecting to Global Agent Connect, and I will connect to your podcast and site for business connection, system and integration, and many other services we are going to introduce to you. In fact, providing system is our duty. We must build Cameroon together. We must be there for each other, and we are going to continue to maintain and make sure we uplift each other to the height in which we are supposed to be, comfortable for everyone to grow. Thank you very much. God bless you. Stay tuned.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. Join us at Global Agent Connect TV. We appreciate your support.